So just so you know, I have a job. That's my job was to prepare and find a short reading for us to do. To prepare some questions. Did I ask you a lot of questions yesterday when we were meeting in small groups about this? To help, both teachers in the room will help moderate the discussion and help you have a good conversation. And hopefully I'm giving you some clear directions. You guys did a really good, you guys did a really good job of listening and keeping quiet to each other last time. I'm going to try really hard to keep quiet. That's part of my job, is to let you do the talking. Okay? So, you have the materials you need to be ready. And I have a timer. You have a timer? You're good? Okay. So, if I tap you on the shoulder, you're going to start forming an inner circle with your chair and your materials first. Did Rachel do the right thing in an embarrassing situation? Did anyone? What could each character have done differently?
I wrote down that Phyllis said that it's hers at the last minute, so it could have been embarrassing for her.
I think maybe Phyllis should have spoken up earlier and just said it was hers. It couldn't have been that bad to just say the sweater was hers.
I don't think Rachel did the right thing of, even if it wasn't hers, she could have like put it on the edge of her desk and made it hard.
I think Rachel is pretty good about it because she tried to tell the teacher that it wasn't hers, but I don't know why Sophia Salvador said that it belonged to her at first. I don't really know.
Maybe she was trying to be mean.
I think that if Rachel just said it was hers, and then she had to go to the bathroom and look for the person that had it, that was looking for it.
I think that the teacher should have asked Rachel if the sweater was hers before having it on her desk, because I just think the teacher should have qualified as Rachel just pick the girl. It could be embarrassing for Rachel too, because everybody thinks it's her sweater, but it's not. So this is like it's yours. I don't think the teacher did the right thing by just believing Sylvia thinking Rachel put it on and telling her that it was hers.
I don't understand why Phyllis just spoke up and said she was hers. She should have said it earlier instead of later.
I think that Phyllis was trying to torment Rachel and make her feel bad, but she might have just forgotten. But really, I doubt that.
I think maybe Phyllis didn't want to say the sweater was hers because it looked like an awful sweater, and she maybe felt sort of embarrassed by it.
Why do you think Phyllis waited to say it was her sweater? I think she probably waited because, as Ursula said, she realized it was like really ugly.
I don't know why the teacher thought it was Rachel's sweater.
I think
don't know why
Phyllis-
she remembered that. She said that she remembered Rachel wearing it. Well, if it was in her cubby, then.
I think Phyllis didn't want to speak up earlier, maybe because he was embarrassed to speak up, because the sweater. I was kind of wondering if Phyllis was enjoying watching Rachel being like sick.
Why do you think that Rachel sort of gave up on trying to tell the teacher that it was her sweater?
Maybe because, like, the teacher, the first few times that she told the teacher just didn't believe her.
I just said that the girl Sylvia Cinder was lying. Instead of could have been her. Instead, she's probably just trying to get Rachel in trouble to make her get in trouble. So it could have been Sylvia Salvia's.
True. But why didn't Rachel even put on sweater if it wasn't?
Because the teacher, I think she really was sort of left but with no choice.
Yeah.
Because it says, Rachel, Miss Price says, she says it like she's getting mad. You put that sweater on right now and no more nonsense. But it's not now, Miss Price says.
I don't think that Mrs. Price should have believed Sylvia. I think Sylvia should have gotten in trouble for saying that.
Yeah.
I think something else that she could have done was just say that's not mine in a bigger voice than what she usually trying to say it as, like or for herself.
I think she put it on because if she just kept on saying no, the teacher would just keep on getting madder and madder and not believing it's not hers.
I thought it was sort of strange that the teacher didn't notice that. Well, I mean, it seems sort of fishy that Phyllis Lopez didn't remember that the sweater was hers.
Personally, if I was Phyllis, when the teacher said that was just anybody's sweater, I would have spoken up, and if it wasn't a very pretty sweater, I would have said it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just a sweater.
The teacher could have gotten embarrassed because she was like saying to Rachel to put it on, but then when Phyllis like said it was hers, then the teacher might have gotten embarrassed all the time. I don't think the teacher did the right thing at all because she didn't believe Sylvia. She made Rachel put it on, and when Phyllis said it was hers, she didn't get mad. She just like decided that that's okay. She didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, and Miss Price is being a really, really, really mean. Maybe Miss Price is being really, really mean to Rachel because she probably didn't like Rachel and she probably thought Sylvia Salvia probably never lies.
I would feel really bad for Rachel because all of this happened on her 11th birthday. So it was probably like one of the things that she's ever had.
Yeah, and like, she says that even though it's her birthday, she wants to just float up into the sky and be gone. And I think that's sort of too bad because, like, on my birthday, I try to have a really great day because it's my birthday.
I think Sylvia, if she wanted to like people to get the point that this sweater was Rachel's, she could have said it like even if she wanted to, she said it in a nicer way, like instead of saying that she's skinny and that it's ugly with buttons. I think she could have like said it nicer.
I just don't understand why Phyllis Lopez waited so long to say it was her son. She should have said it earlier to tell see what it was. But I can totally understand. I would have done the same thing. Because like they said it was like it smelled like cheddar cheese.
Kind of embarrassing.
Like, yeah, but still, I mean, like, she could have just spoken up and said it was hers.
I don't think
I know it would be embarrassing, but it would be better than letting someone else take the blame. And I think that Sylvia Saldivar was really trying to make Rachel maybe feel bad when she said that she thought it was Rachel's.
I don't think even Rachel did a really good thing because all she said was like not mine, no. I don't know, not mine. She could have like said that's not mine, or like in actual words instead of just mumbling.
But I think that she was feeling like she didn't know what to do. And she even says, like, if I was 102, I would have known what to say when this place was a red sweater on my desk. I would have known how to tell her it wasn't mine. mine instead of just sitting there with that look on my face and nothing coming out.
Well, at least Phyllis admitted that it was her sweater, so she just didn't sit there. Because she should have said it before instead of... Because Rachel said it was hers, but it wasn't hers. So
Time.
it kind of bugged her.
10 minutes.
Okay. So, Group B, we need to hear from you. We'll go around and you can read us what you were looking at and looking for, and then tell us what you recorded. So, Michaela will start.
How many times did someone interrupt someone else kept a 15 tally march in your
And how many times did someone interrupt someone else?
15?
Watch the quiet people. Are they listening? Do they give signs that they want to speak? Do people ignore them? Jot notes in your notebook. And I wrote down that some people cut off the quiet people, like when they're about to talk, and also they mostly agreed with things instead of like talking about questions and stuff.
Anything else, Captain? You're good? Okay.
Mine was observe the person directly across from you in the inner circle. Make observations about his or her participation in your journal. That was Kyle. He was mostly paying attention, but he didn't talk at all.
Brianna, what was your job? To watch Miss Tabaracci. What did you see her do?
She was right
Hmm? Was she talking or quiet?
quiet.
What do you think I was doing then, because I was so quiet? What was I doing, other than my...
If she's quiet when other people are talking, she's probably a good,
Listen.
I think so too.
I noticed that
What's your job?
my job my job is how many times does each person speak? Make a circle chart in your notebook and keep tally marks to see. Devin spoke 6 times. RJ spoke 8 times. Wait. RJ spoke 7 times. Kyle spoke 0 times. Ella spoke 11 times. Kate spoke 8 times. Sadie spoke 4 times. And Ursula spoke 20 times. Yes.
That is nothing to that.
10. 15 times, actually.
Yeah. Nice. Very good.
My job was to count how many boys and girls spoke and then find the difference between them. The girls spoke 29 times, the boys spoke 10 times, and the difference between them was 19.
How did that end?
Mine said 15 to
did they lead or take over? How did the other group members respond? And it didn't really seem like anybody was trying to be like the leader or take over. And it looked like everybody was trying to take turns.
I had count how many times anyone in the circle says, keep your tally chart in your notebook. RJ said it 3 times, Ursula said 7 times, Ella said it 6 times, Devin said it 9 times, Sadie said it 6 times, and Kate said it 1 time.
Wait, what was the question?
Count how many times anyone in the circle said,
Um,
No.
That's a good thing.
My job was how often does the group refer back to the text in their conversations. Keep a tally chart in your journal. And I didn't really quite know what that means, like if they kept on looking at their 11 story. So Ella looked at her thing 14 times. Kyle looked at his 10 times. RJ looked at his 5. Devin looked at his 5. Ursula looked at hers 10. Sadie looked at hers 8, and Kate looked at hers 18.
How are we on time?
We still have some more time to go, but we could stop and,
Well, let's just open it up to the outer circle. Anyone have any other just comments about something you observed? How about inner circle? Anything that was surprised you from hearing from the outer circle? Ellen.
That what was the
I spoke, the girl spoke 29 times in the face.
yeah, and Owen it doesn't add up right.
yeah.
What Owen said. And that kind of
I think I actually might have wrote one on Ella's accidentally instead of Kate's.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
I think I might have wrote something on a tally mark on Ella's instead of Kate's. And by accident instead of
that
Ella's.
would still be
I think I counted pretty well.
they didn't add up like
Yeah,
that surprised me too.
The girl that spoke the voice by
It surprised me that Kate looked at everything 18 times because I didn't get to see her look at it at all. Oh yeah, I looked at it.
Yeah, it was
But
hard to see
it's
everyone look
I
at
think
it.
it's good to look at it, like to refer to the text.
Yeah.
I think when you first said refer to the text in that thing, I thought it meant like read part of it from the text to support your opinion, but you did something else. At least they talked about it.
Okay. Let me first collect the questions that are out here, or the things to look for. Oh, so again, just to kind of start the conversation by talking about, did Rachel do the right thing in an embarrassing situation? Did anyone? What could each character have done differently?
Miss Kurban and Miss Tabaracci.
You guys go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk.
I think that Rachel should have definitely spoken up for herself, even though that she didn't like the sweater and it smelled bad. It was hers.
But she was afraid to say it was hers, and I get that because once when I had something and she held it up, I couldn't even say anything. My lips were sealed. I was trying to talk, but I couldn't.
Why do you think Phyllis Lopez took so long to say, like, that it was her sweater? Why do you guys think it took so long?
I think maybe she she was a little embarrassed that she had a sweater like that, and she didn't want to say it was hers, or she could have just wanted to make Rachel feel bad.
Do you guys think that Phyllis Lopez did the right thing of waiting till the end to say it was hers?
No.
Well, I just want to say something about Kalea's, because I think she was upset, embarrassed because of Sylvia Saldivar. She said it was a raggy old sweater that smelled.
Yeah, and Sylvia probably should have minded her own business and let the teacher handle it.
Yeah. Do you think the teacher did the right thing?
I think the teacher didn't do the right thing because she was saying that it was Rachel's, except it wasn't the whole time. It was actually Phyllis's.
Miss Price could have definitely approached that in a better manner and a better attitude.
The teacher wasn't
Teacher, it was not really nice. She didn't want to Rachel. With hers.
Why did Rachel put on the sweater?
Because the teacher told her to, or she could have got in trouble, or she could have probably went to the principal's office.
The teacher doesn't have the right to to demand a student that.
Well, actually, yes, she kind of does. Because if she doesn't know it's hers, because if she sees that she doesn't like, well, actually maybe, because if she might see that if it was had it on the corner of her desk, tippy top corner of her desk, then maybe she would know that it wasn't hers.
Well, I honestly think that the teacher doesn't have the right for her to put the sweater on because she could have said that it's not hers, and in the first place it wasn't. It was Phyllis's, so I think she doesn't have the right to demand Rachel to put the sweater on.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel can put on what she wants to put on, pretty much. And
But,
so the teacher...
You know, if the teacher says to put it on, she has to put it on. Because she is the teacher. And teachers are the main, if you're in school, that you do what they say.
But she doesn't have the right to tell her to put the sweater on because it's not hers. Just because she's the teacher doesn't mean that she has to put the sweater on.
Yeah, like Asa said, she could have said it in a nicer way.
Yeah.
And she could have only said it once, or she could have put it in the lost and found if they had one.
And a better thing that Phyllis could have done, she could have told the teacher that it was hers, so Rachel didn't have to put it on.
Yeah.
The other kids did.
Owen, my turn. What do you think?
Rachel should have done this.
After the teacher told her, tell me what I told you. What could have been? Tell her that I.
I think that the teacher shouldn't have just popped it on Rachel's desk because another student told her to.
Yeah, because everybody probably thought that it was Rachel's, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, because if she just plops it on the desk like Catherine said, who knows, maybe someone wasn't really paying attention and maybe they didn't hear the teacher that it was her sweater. Maybe it was that
Yeah,
person's
because
sweater.
the teacher has no right. Like Brandon said, the teacher actually does have has no right to just go plopping it on her desk whenever she feels like it.
It was her birthday.
Yeah, was that a very nice thing?
Yeah.
What do you think?
No.
Was that a good thing? The teacher helped her have a good birthday, or was
She was really sad.
you had a good point right there.
It did say,
Even though it was her birthday,
Yeah.
how old did she actually feel?
She was 11 and she wanted to go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, acting.
She felt a lot younger than 11.
Yeah.
I definitely think that the teacher wasn't really being that considerate because just because another student says something's hers doesn't mean that it is, and she should have asked Rachel before. I think Lopez should have said that it was hers before Rachel had to put the sweater on.
well, the teacher, if the teacher was saying that she had to put it on and that she just popped it on her desk, like she agreed, then she's being a she's the meanest teacher. She's pretty much like, she sort of listened to Rachel and should have like said, said to Sylvia, that's enough.
Yeah, I don't really think
Like,
that's
that's
very
enough
good.
out of you.
I don't think that's very good teaching. Like, I don't think that's very good.
Yeah.
When Phyllis took the sweater, I think the teacher should have reacted differently. Like maybe send an apology to Rachel instead of pretending like nothing happened. Hey, Brianna.
And on the when she's like, not mine, but Miss Price is already turned into 32 and then that's probably number 4. Miss Price was just ignoring her at that point.
Yeah. I think, like Katie said, that Miss Price didn't really do anything when Felix said that it was actually hers. Like, said we should have said that earlier or something.
That's our time.
I have one.
Okay, now we'll go around the outside of the circle. And I'm just going to remind everyone, my job is to keep quiet, if that's a very hard thing to do. I would like to comment on every single thing you're saying. I'm sure Miss Asendorf and Miss Nicole probably feels that way too. Okay, Kyle?
Mine was, how many times does each person speak? Brandon spoke 8 times, Travis spoke 3 times, Owen spoke 8 times, Brianna spoke 3, Catherine spoke 2, Michaela spoke 0 times, Kalea spoke 5 times, Asa spoke 5 times, Katie spoke once.
Mine is, what 4 different how many times boys speak as to girls? Keep a tally chart in your notebook. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for boys, and 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 for boys. And for girls, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So who had more?
Boys. It took really a lot more this time.
Mine was how many times were there off-target behaviors. List what they are with no specific names in your notebook. And there were 3 off-target behaviors. It was a side conversation, and like in the circle, some people were like saying stuff like that didn't really have to do. That was the other 2, like with the story.
My job was, or the most interesting points brought up by the group.
Can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
My job was, what were the most interesting points brought up by the group? And I did a sort of strange thing, which was, I wrote down what I thought was the most interesting thing that each person said. Brandon said that maybe the teacher didn't have the right to make her put on the sweater. Travis said that the teacher could have approached this problem in maybe a different way, in a nicer way.
Lisa said that.
Yeah, but also Travis did. Basic said that Mrs. Price, in the end, Mrs. Price was just plain ignoring Rachel. Owen said that sometimes it's hard, when you're put on the spotlight, sometimes it's hard to say something. Katie said that the teacher could have at least apologized when Phyllis Lopez said that the sweater was hers. She could have at least apologized to Rachel. Lana said that the teacher should have listened to Rachel's side of the argument. Kalea said that maybe Phyllis Lopez was embarrassed by the sweater, and that's why she didn't say that it was hers. Catherine said that Mrs. Price didn't really bother to ask Rachel what she thought, and Michaela didn't speak at all. And another thing I noticed was that Brandon and Owen were discussing whether or not the teacher had the right to tell her to put the sweater on. First, Brandon thought that she didn't have the right, and then Owen thought that she did, but eventually Owen decided that she didn't have the right either.
So my job was watch the outer circle. How are the people behaving? How can you tell that they are on target? Jot notes in your notebook. And I observed that some people weren't listening at the beginning, but people started taking notes quickly. I noticed some people just listening and watching, mostly, and some people were mostly waiting. There was one person who interrupted once, and people in the outer circle, sort of were in a way participating in the conversation, although they weren't really speaking at all. And I could tell that everybody was really paying attention. And there was one person that I noticed mostly watching and not really taking notes very much.
My question was, make a list of every compliment you hear someone else during the discussion. Write your list in your notebook. I didn't hear any compliments, but I did hear a lot of yes, I agrees. I heard not yes, I agrees.
My question was, were there any lulls in the conversation? What do you notice happens when the conversation lasts? Read your notes in your notebook. Well, the conversation stopped 3 times, like it was in silence. And people were staring at others, like to make them talk. And then some people were just whispering.
Mrs. Risco, could you come to the office, please? Mrs. Risco, to the office, please.
Some people were whispering to talk to someone, like to tell them to talk up. And some people are just looking at them.
I had 2 questions writing down here. first was to keep account of how many times somebody says Asa said it once. Owen said it 3 times. And Kalea said it 6. And I found that it was usually used as an opener to a sentence. So instead of starting off your sentence with what you wanted to say, people used it as a way to interject to make sure that the group knew that they wanted to speak. So they would start off by saying and then wait for everybody to pause, and then they would start speaking. So it was their way to start the conversation. My second question was, who seemed to be the leader in the group? Did they lead or take over? How did the other group members respond? And this was interesting because it was it seemed like a pretty even conversation, but I noticed a few different things happening. Asa, Brandon, and Kalea, you seem to lead the conversation by asking new questions and bringing up new points, and that was met well by the group. The conversation shifted when you would bring up something new, and it would start going in a different direction. And then Owen, you led the conversation by interjecting. So sometimes you would have a point to make, and you would interject it over what other people were saying. And people didn't seem to mind too much, but there were a few points where people seemed to back down on what they were saying instead of finishing the sentence they were trying to get out. So it was interesting to see the different ways that the conversation was led, but it seemed pretty even all around. It's very cool.
Okay, I have to comment a little bit. I'm going to bring it back to our goals. What Miss Nicole really was just saying really makes me think of number 3, to practice non-competitive discussion. And she gave one side of it in that it's very hard sometimes when you have such great thinking to share, to be patient and wait, because you really want to share that thinking. And that's wonderful. But then on the other hand, to my friends who maybe didn't speak at all, I don't want you to feel badly about that, because I'm the type of person who would probably not speak at all. So your goal in practicing non-competitive discussion is to speak more, whereas other people's goal in practicing non-competitive discussion is to maybe speak a little less or be a little more patient. So it's not an easy thing, and that's why we're working on it. I think all of you achieved a deeper level of understanding of this story. And I think all of you worked on being good listeners and speakers. I don't think this time there really were side. I think someone saw a side conversation, but I didn't think it disrupted what was happening this time.
It was on the outside.
Oh, okay. But I'm glad you were watching everywhere. Did it say watch the outside of the circle?
No, it didn't say anything about the inside or the outside.
And that was fine. I was wondering which one you were going to watch. I think the goal, your objective for you has to do with number 6. Raise your hand if you feel you actually definitely participated at least 2 times today, because that was the goal, for everyone to participate 2 times. Okay. Now, raise your hand if you feel like you still want to work on it. It's okay. Still work on it?
Yeah.
It's okay. How many people may have participated 2 times but wish they said more?
Yeah.